Thank you, Jenna, for that introduction. We're not here tonight for me. We're here because of all of us and the work we collectively do together. But Jenna, we're honored to have you MC tonight's program. I think back to 2012, and this was actually a vision that my mom had, to bring together our supporters, to come together and celebrate the work that we were doing. And sadly, she passed before her vision had been executed. And I remember that first night and how emotional I was to have this all happen, and it was awesome. I'm so grateful to all of our honorees, distinguished guests, partners, our presenting sponsor, Johnson & Johnson, as well as our supporters and volunteers who are joining us at this beautiful and historic venue to celebrate all of the accomplishments that we've achieved together. It means so much to come together once again, especially after having spent the last year apart, and reconnect our Spartan community. There is no doubt that the last several months, the pandemic and the fallout from it, have caused a great deal of upheaval for so many of us. And when I think back on the events that have transpired since we last gathered in this room 2 years ago, I'm reminded of a quote from Helen Keller. She famously said that character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. And that's exactly what we're here to celebrate tonight. The success that has been achieved through trial and suffering, and the character of our community that has been forged in these challenging times. I could not be prouder of the ways our community, led by veterans and families of the fallen, have stepped up to bridge gaps and serve the needs of their local communities. Whether it was organizing food and clothing drives for those dealing with acute needs, developing online mentoring and character programs for our youth to adapt to changing academic landscapes, or providing community and connection for the isolated, our veterans and families of the fallen have consistently led the way. And not only has that made our organization more resilient in the face of adversity, it's also made us more technically efficient, agile in our response, creative in our problem solving, and generally stronger. Just as Helen Keller said, our character has not been developed in ease and quiet. I'd like to take a moment to showcase exactly what I mean when I say that our Spartans are bridging the gap these last several months. Let's take a quick look back at 2021 and the leaders who made it such a success.
This year challenged us like no other, but it also allowed us to see what we are capable of, both as an organization and as a community, answering the needs of our veterans and families of the fallen, adapting to the obstacles thrown at us, meeting and exceeding the goals we had for ourselves when it came to connecting with youth and addressing the needs of communities nationwide. It truly demonstrated the incredible resilience of Travis Manion Foundation.
I think what's so amazing about the organization is it's both developed me individually, but given me more tools to help those around me. And I think, the Spartan Leadership Program really perfectly embodies that.
I'd like to gain the ability to work with the younger people of America because I have so much to give to them. I recognized that a long time ago, that I needed to give a lot of this back, but I didn't know how. And if not me, then who is really teaching me those traits to get it done?
And it's been unbelievable, the impact that TMF has had on my life. There's a before TMF and there's an after TMF, and how much growth I have found.
community of people who care, who love, who appreciate what I do, who I am, and that just, I don't know, nothing beats that. It's like having a whole new family.
The formula for our work is quite simple. We are intimately aware of the civic assets that our military community represents. So armed with that knowledge, we equip veterans and families of the fallen with the training, community, and resources that empower them to be of service to others. And then we provide them with opportunities to do what they do best, to lead, to serve, and to make us all better. And of course, it's always difficult to demonstrate in 2 or 3 minutes of video and images what a powerful community has achieved in an entire year. But thankfully, I don't need to lean entirely on video content to share with you what this looks like, because we're joined tonight by so many of the veterans, survivors, and inspired civilians who lead these efforts year-round. There are too many to call out by name, but I especially like to recognize members of our Spartan Leadership Program who are here tonight, as well as veterans and survivors who serve as mentors in our Youth Character Development Program. We're fortunate to have leaders like Naval Flight Officer Zach Boguslawski, who recently, where's Zach? There's Zach right there. Zach recently graduated from our 7-month leadership program. Zach has a passion for supporting the needs of youth in juvenile justice centers or those who are at high risk of being detained. So after completing his 7-month educational journey with us, Zach is now setting his sights on implementing character education and mentorship programming for youth in these facilities to show them a different perspective and offer a positive outlook in the futures outside the system. We're also joined tonight by leaders like Marine Corps veteran Chad Johnson, our Raleigh chapter leader. Where's Chad? When Chad isn't galvanizing his North Carolina Spartans to complete a challenging workout to honor the fallen, or rucking food and supplies to local shelters, or volunteering to lay flags at the grave sites of the fallen in Arlington, he's spending what little free time he has mentoring the next generation. From online character education lessons to in-person service projects and youth mentorship, Chad is dedicated to sharing the character and leadership he learned in the military with the future leaders of this country. I could go on with examples of outstanding individuals in this room, and the conclusion would always be the same. Our military community, the veterans and families of fallen that lead this organization, are better equipped to do this work than anyone I can think of. And at the center of this foundation and the people who lead it is a deep, deep desire to honor the legacies of the men and women who have gone before us and sacrificed so much. We are forever grateful and humbled by those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice and given their lives for the freedoms we enjoy. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the men and women in this room who understand this sacrifice profoundly. The families of the fallen who have lost loved ones and yet wake up every day continuing to find ways to honor their legacies by serving with TMF. Please stand as I call your name, and we'll hold our applause until the very end. Bob and Linda Craven, parents of Captain Scott Craven, United States Air Force. Thomas and Inez Hickson, son and daughter-in-law of machinist mate First Class Christopher Hickson, United States Navy. Sarah Jameson, wife of Sergeant Billy West Jameson, United States Marine Corps. Teresa Jones, wife of Lieutenant Commander Landon Jones, United States Navy. Samantha Reed, fiance of Specialist Preston Jones, United States Army. Stephanie Keegan, mother of Sergeant Daniel Keegan, United States Army. Heather Kelly, wife of First Lieutenant Robert Kelly, United States Marine Corps. John and Gail Moscow, parents of Lieutenant Christopher Moscow, United States Navy. Brian Stortz, brother of Petty Officer 3rd Class Tammy Stortz, United States Navy. Monica Velez, sister of Jose Freddy Velez, United States Army, and Specialist Andrew Velez, United States Army. Ashley Whitlock, wife of Captain Nicholas Whitlock, United States Air Force. I also want to recognize Commander of SEAL Team 8, Brian Bourgeois, a 2001 graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy who died this week as a result of his injuries in a training accident. His loss is another reminder of the continued sacrifice that our men and women in uniform make every single day. Thank you to the families here tonight for allowing us to recognize your loved one's sacrifice. And thank you for continuing to serve as an example of the strength of character that this country aspires to. As I think most of us in this room are well aware, there are 5 words that drive every decision, every action, and every act of service at our organization. They're the 5 words that my brother spoke before leaving for his final deployment to Iraq. If not me, then who? And as we've already seen, this ethos is at the heart of what our community has accomplished this year. As I conclude my remarks this evening, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a way that this ethos showed up for me, and I think most of us who have a personal connection to those who have fought in the global war on terror. A few months ago, in mid-August, as the war in Afghanistan came to an abrupt end, I, like many of you, felt deeply connected to and disheartened by the events unfolding on the nightly news. I saw the heartbreaking stories of Afghan men and women who watched their freedoms slip away quickly at the hands of a newly instated Taliban regime. And I worried for those who had served honorably alongside American forces. We all, of course, saw these stories on TV, but I'd like to take a moment and share with you a glimpse into my friend Bashamal's story, and to really bring to life what this historical moment meant for so many families like his. At the end of August 2021, the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan after a 20-year war. It left many of the Afghan people fleeing for their safety. One of them was my friend Bashamal and his family.
In August 15, Taliban took control of all of the countries. We are hiding from them because we have projects with U.S. Army.
They said Taliban is coming. Everyone was running everywhere.
I sent him a text on August 18th, and it just said, "Are you still in Afghanistan?" And I remember kind of feeling like desperation. I knew Bashamal was an SIV applicant along with his brother. I knew that he had served next to our U.S. military for 8 years. And I felt a calling. And, you know, honestly, I listened to my brother's words, if not me, then who. I had no idea what I was going to do. I really had no idea how I could possibly help, but I knew I had to do something. And I put out a message on social media and said, you know, does anybody have any contacts at the Abbey Gate? I connected with Jared, who was an Air Force captain. He said that he could help.
The conditions were awful. It was 95 degrees. There was no shade. There was no water, hardly any food. People were about as desperate as you could possibly be, I think.
How was Jared going to be able to identify my friends? And we put up a sign. We gave them a keyword, Spurgeon.
I walked over there and talked to the lieutenant that happened to be in charge, and I was like, hey, I need this family right now.
And then I got a text from Jared. I remember lying in that bed and just being blown away. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they made it through. Bashamal texted me, we are in. I said, I need proof, show me you're in. He sent me a picture of Jared along with little Atal. And I cannot think of a time in my life where I have felt more pure gratitude for and happiness and thankfulness for the fact that they got through.
And now we are very happy here, and we have anything, and now we became now a family members with Ryan's family.
The foundation help us and to my family, to everyone, and I want to be a part of this. I want to help to other people. So I will be here, and I will be work here with Travis Manion Foundation.
I was sent to Hamid Karzai International as part of a personnel recovery task force. We realized, though, once we made it out to the gates, after the first couple days, that mission was no longer going to be the primary focus, and that if we, as a personnel recovery task force, we're not going to act, then nobody was going to be able to help these people. You know, it coincided with the values of this organization. You know, if we didn't do it, you know, who was going to help these people? Who was going to do it?
I am honored and humbled to share with you that Bashamal, his brother Muhammad, and Major Jared Lefebvre are here with us this evening. Will the three of you please stand so we can recognize you? I share this story with you not just because I think it's important to demonstrate the very real ways that challenges abroad have come home to us in the last few months, but also to demonstrate the power of if not me, then who, and what can be achieved when men like Jared do whatever we can to serve the needs of others. And I also want to take this opportunity to announce that in the spirit of this ethos, TMF is committed to help aid in the resettlement of our Afghan allies, led by Bashamal and Muhammad through the Travis Manion Foundation. Staying true to who we are and what we do, this will be another excellent way for veterans in this TMF community to put the if not me then who ethos into action while helping our Afghan allies that fought so bravely beside us for the past 20 years. You'll be hearing more about these efforts in the coming weeks and months, but please know that your support of our mission is continuing to empower veterans to serve in very critical and unique ways. You know, we never could have imagined where we would be today, but what we've achieved together could not be possible without the individuals in this room who have stepped up and gone above and beyond to support our mission. In closing, I want to honor and thank all of the men and women who stand guard tonight and fight to protect the values that we hold so dear. I express my deep gratitude for each of you as we tackle the next set of challenges that sit on the horizon. God bless all of those who have served and continue to serve right here at home. God bless the families and communities that support them. And God bless America. Thank you.